Welcome to the recap show, and what a day it was. I mean, we were down, then we were up, and we finished quite nicely there on the NASDAQ. And thank you so much. I'm Sean Katina, and you are still with Trader TV Live as we give you the best recap show. And I always say it, man, it's the slogan. It's traders stay late. So thank you so much for coming through and sticking out with us again here today. We have a great lineup to talk about. I actually want to talk about that. Hey, where'd that go, man? Put that rundown back on. There it is. All right. I have it up here. Remember we discussed this? No present. All right. All right. So, there it is. We're going to talk about Meta. We're going to talk about Google. All right, I am not pushing anything right now. All right, I want to talk about the Google Meta. We obviously had their conferences coming through. Meta, how violent that was versus what Google did today. We have the sector rundown. We have Chris Brecher coming in. There's really no earnings to talk about. We have Conagra and Levi later on. We could look at Tilray today, but that was kind of as if it had something all day. It was kind of sleepy there, you know what I'm saying? And then we also have the roll call at the end of the day. And I want to review that Palantir trade because we did talk about that. And wow, let's go over here because what a dramatic day it was for the sectors. And hey, if you are an energy trader, hopefully you were short today, Fabian, if we can come over to the screen now. Let's start rolling right now with our sector recap. So there it is right now. USO today, wow. United States Oil Fund taking it on the chin, down 5 points today on that. If you have that quickly, Brendan, just what those numbers were on the oil today. Yeah, there was also Russian comments today coming through. OPEC, they can't really control the price of oil. They're the only ones that can. We've talked about how Fed is not going to have their hand in oil. But again, if we're going to talk about CPI, like oil being down here today, definitely helping out the broader markets because if oil, and I know they go X energy and all that kind of stuff, X food, X energy, but this is definitely helping the downside move here. Getting it back to the 50 period. We had Randy on today, like what else is new? But XOM pulling back in is a pretty interesting thing for me right here. Tons of cash, great dividend yield. Again, it's not on here. The dividend of 91 cents paid quarterly. So it's going to be a good name to look at. Also CVX, I'm imagining pulling back as well into the 200, into the 50 period. So lots of movement here today, both in CVX, Oxy. I mean, where's Warren? I mean, this guy's always calling on this show. I want to talk to this guy today as well because Warren, man, Occidental, you got to come in and start to buy the rest of this company up because it is on a downward spiral right now, down over 10% from its highs. Occidental taking it on the chin. There's OAH, and then there's XLE. Man, when Michael Noss comes through, man, me and that guy are going to have a talk. Hello, Warren? Damn it. What a tease, that guy. But anyways, XLE, man, the Spider ETF. I told Michael Noss, I was like, bro, what do you think about this, man? We're at these highs. He said, it's runway, man, and we're going to the upside. Hey, trade your own book. I like it down here at the 200 period. Could possibly pick some up. We did get out. We only got out of like 30% or something. We talked about that as this was breaking the 50 period. Glad we did because it's all the way back down. But hey, let's just go with what's happening here. I just taking that on, talking for fun there about Mr. Noss, but nice move to the upside. He had a great trade on Affirm. Oh, by the way, look at that Affirm breakdown, breaking back down below 20. You know, what goes up must come down. There goes Affirm, now breaking lower on that one. That's funny because you know what, Fabian? When you hit that Warren Buffett, I was actually getting a call. And look, Brendan, look at this. 226 area code 1 minute ago. Swear to God. So I don't know. He's watching me. I should have picked that up right there. But anyways, shout. Oh, Jerome? No, I didn't picking it up from Jerome, man. I'll talk to that guy about some other things right now. I'll see Jerome at Thanksgiving there. Okay, which I will not. Qs right now, what a good day and everything else, right? We said as long, and this is something that, you know, again, we learned this, and actually I'm going to talk about Chris again because Chris talked about the transports last week. He gave all of us a great trade on UPS, if you remember. But for me, I just think it's the semiconductors, right? As SMH continues to hold this 140 level, I still think the market has room to the upside and a lot more room. You want to wait for this to break to give you sort of the warning shot because, you know, this has been holding since June. We've had ups and downs in NVIDIA. We've had AMD break back down below $100 as well. And now you're sort of getting this level here for SMH. So I still feel like I like this name. If you're uncomfortable, you know, getting into AMD or NVIDIA or anything like that, just take the ETF coming through as well. I noticed that my face isn't up on the screen, so that gives me a good opportunity right now to go back over here with the live chat because often I miss it, and I've been seeing some comments in right here. Yeah, he will bring. Oh, by the way, shout out to my lovely wife. I don't know if she's watching, but you just mentioned right here, Dan McIsaac, the canned cranberry. So, like, I would prefer, as I think many of you also would prefer. What's up, Fabian? There it is. I prefer the fresh cranberry sauce, okay? Especially, so Canadian Thanksgiving is now. It's this weekend. So happy Thanksgiving to all my Canadian friends out there and US friends as well. But my wife prefers the canned cranberry sauce. So, I mean, I like the real stuff. The real stuff is a little more tart, I find, which I like to pair that with the turkey. But let me know in the chat if you are a canned. And she's so crazy. She actually likes to see the indentation of the can itself. Like, it's absolutely amazing. And it's something that we go back and forth with her family as well. Yo, what's up, Future Ready? If you're in here, Marissa, you could definitely verify that right now. Okay, so here we go. Jack Mack only does cranberry juice. No for Ramin. She does not like the cranberry juice on here. What's up? Yeah, here we go. Can we throw a poll in the chat? I don't know. Can you do that, Bears versus Bulls? Let's go canned versus not on the cranberry. Yeah, I'm freshly as well, so shout out to that. We'll get Chris's opinion in just a matter of seconds, what he likes on the cranberry side of things. But there it is right there. If anybody knows how to throw up a poll, let's do that. I, of course, am hosting solo right now, so if anybody could do that, that'd be great. All right. UNG. So as oil goes down, gas seems to be getting the bump here as an alternative energy source. So UNG again up 1.7%. But hey, we don't have to show you this. I mean, UNG still at the bottoms. Whether or not you like this name or not, I feel like you got to sort of deal with some of these pullbacks in UNG. The Qs, we already talked about that. A beautiful day for the Qs. And again, the Qs holding 350. Man, we had some good trades on the triple Qs today. We can maybe talk about that as well. We talked about this yesterday when we looked at Warren Buffett's portfolio, and of course that was the fact that the XLF, BAC, and WFC continue to be big holdings for himself. So if you come back in and look at Wells Fargo and Bank of America, it's Bank of America right now. There's some upside down mortgages that they have right now. And again, you could book those however you want. They're obviously going to be underwater now. When you're holding a mortgage at 2 or 3%, and the current mortgage rates are anywhere between 7 and 8%. That's not going to be a good look. And that's why you're seeing also the regionals taking it on the head a little bit over the last little while. Everyone I'm hearing is not liking where regionals are, but you've already pulled back from 50 down to 40, so already a nice 20% move back in on that name. So maybe a buy opportunity. I don't think so. I'd like to see regionals take out this low that goes all the way back to May. Of course, we talked about this with Silicon Valley, then FRC, all getting liquidated basically, and then JP Morgan steps in and buys those assets for pennies on the dollar. And JP Morgan still, unlike BAC, man, BAC's all the way down here, right? JP Morgan still above the 200 period and still holding out pretty good. Anything else catch my eye here? Where's silver? Where's gold? Gold flat on a day like today. So gold really taking it again to the downside, breaking through 170. We talked about that yesterday. Can't really catch a bid. I'm not an investor in either gold or silver, but you know, could be some nice relief rallies in these names as well, off nice moves back in on both of those. Okay, what I wanted to get to real quickly was today, pretty interesting talk there because we had the Google talk today, and that stock, if we're going to look at Google, G-O-O-G-L, that's the one that I prefer to look at. Let's just look at this on a daily chart, actually on 5 minutes should give us everything we need for the day. There it is. So a little back and forth. Brendan reminded me that we had a nice up move here. This is today right at 9:30 when the market opened. Nice move back up, comes back in, and then right here at 10 o'clock. What a surprise. We're on the 200 period moving average at 10 o'clock. We're basically at a flat spot for the day. Then it takes off, takes off again. Brendan said that this move up here at about 11 o'clock is when they started talking about the camera and some of the things that it was able to do. I only hold the 12 Pro right now for Apple, but the last Pixel that I owned was the 7, and it had a great camera. I got off that, went over to Apple because we have that Apple family plan. It gives you everything you need. So we're doing that. But then it pulled back on some AI news and then finishes the day at highs because the NASDAQ took off. So today for Google, relatively calm, right? But look at this. And I want to shout out to Adara because she gave me this chart here. Now, it's going to be hard to see because, again, it lost, it got degraded in the quality when it goes through the chat. But this is what happened on Meta Connect Day. So Meta had like a crazy violent day, and I remember losing on this day, all on Meta pretty violently because I was watching and I didn't think Mark Zuckerberg said anything at all that would have sent the stock reeling like it did today. I mean, if you guys were watching it, you tell me what created this move down. I don't know if people thought the Quest 2 or Quest 3, I think it was going to be like something revolutionary. I thought it actually was. There was some augmented reality in there with AR as well. So VR and AR. So there was some good opportunities there for the Quest 3. And then basically, as soon as he got off the stage, you retraced all the way back up. So again, a relatively flat move for Meta on their day. But what do you guys think about that? Like, this is why I stayed away from Google today. I was afraid that we would have had a drop for no reason and unable to find a bottom until you do. And then there's the move right back up. So it's like, this is where the day started. You know, Zuckerberg took the stage, and then this is where we ended. So it was basically a nothing burger, but you had a flush down of about $12, then all the way back up to the upside. So just a little bit of an interesting sort of look there between Meta versus Google and what we talked about and why I like to stay away. Today, you didn't get that pullback from Google, right? You could see where the volume started. That's the open of the day. Pull back ahead of the event, and then we just kind of kept on going to the upside, but that looks a lot similar, of course, to what the NASDAQ did today, right? Here's a move up, a move back down at 10 o'clock, and then there's the NASDAQ. So Google today, a relatively non-starter on that event. So I like the name. Google is my largest now just because of the weighting of my portfolio. My largest long-term holding is in Google. And honestly, look at this. It's one of the major tech names. We have Meta upside right now. We have Amazon trying to go back up to the upside. But we're almost back to highs. So Apple still needs to take what? Apple's high is what, 194? 198 high, nowhere near the high for Apple, right? Meta just trying to get back there right now, so still $20 away from the high. So that's not there, right? Amazon is 141, I believe. 146 there as the high. So that's, you know, we're still lower on that name. And then Mr. Softy, one of my favorites. I feel like this is the name that I want to buy that I think is the next runner back up to the highs. But again, we're going to have to watch out for that $300 break if that does come in. I don't think it will, but we'll see. October setting up to be a real nice month, I feel like, anyways. Brendan gave me those numbers today on the oil. So oil could hit $100 a barrel. Yeah, let's see if that happens. He just sent me that note as well. Shout out to Bears versus Bulls today and everybody as we go. I just want to get it set up because we do have Chris coming, and I want to give you a little bit of a breakdown here. He did want to talk about, remember, when there's a downtrend, looking for pullbacks, how to get involved in some of those plays. So we'll bring Chris on in just a couple seconds here. Google and Meta events, guys. What do you guys think about those events? And we did not. I don't think we got a poll up in here. So I don't think Bears versus Bulls can actually make a poll. So it's not up yet, but at the end of the day, can you do it? Okay, Ramin can do it quickly. It was, and I'm going to ask Chris in a minute because he's going to come on board here. Do you prefer your cranberry sauce fresh or canned? Fresh. I'm a fresh guy right there. So, all right, we're going to do that. Yeah, we're not going to do it on Streamlabs. We're going to do it right here, right now. Ramin's going to get that going. Do you want me to give you a second, or can we call Chris? All right, let's call Chris. It's Trader Talk. Mr. Brecher is back in the building. Thank you so much. You can find him at Simpler Trading, and you can see his details below. So thank you so much for joining once again, Chris. I feel like every time you're on the show, we've had like a pretty violent day in the markets. Today was just another one. And I don't know if you heard me in the pre-show there, or the sort of as we started the show, that UPS call you gave us last week was pretty fire. I don't know if you have anything today, but welcome back to the show. How are you doing, Mr. Chris Brecher?
Well, I've been better in like house-wise. We had a huge flood in our house.
Oh, no.
Which is sort of ironic because every time I show a chart where I say the path of least resistance is down, I talk about floods and how they go to your basement. Yeah, our basement, our garage roof collapsed. And the only reason I'm bringing this up is because if you hear sawing and hammering, it's not me banging the table out of frustration. I just wanted you to know that.
Wow, you got a plumber already? That's pretty quick, no?
It happened Sunday night. Now they just have the saw taking apart the floors and all that. So I guess I should have traded waste management or something. But but I wanted to show you, I know I talked about downtrends.
Yeah, let's go.
I thought I'd show you what happened on the close. We made a little money in it. We should have made a lot, but you know that last minute thing we talk about?
Yes, sir.
I thought I'd show you why it worked today and why it didn't work yesterday.
Sure, let's go through that. I mean, you're talking about those market on close imbalances, and then some pressure relief, and then blasting one way or the other into the close. How often, let's go over the example and we'll talk about that again, because you did bring this up a couple weeks ago, and be quite frank, I am kind of over here now at 3:55 prepping the show, so I did miss the close today, so let's go over that.
Yeah, sure. Well, a couple of things. Number one, I really don't look at imbalances unless they're like 2 billion to buy or 2 billion to sell. So I have some sawdust in my eye. Sorry about that. So you see on the bottom left, you have 2.3 billion to sell. Right. That doesn't necessarily mean you're going down, but we found that like the last 1 minute, that works. So a lot of people try to jump on it right when that comes out at 15:51, and it doesn't work. So, you know, obviously it's an art, not a science, but there are a couple of caveats. Number one, we want the SPX close to where one of the strikes. So as you see down here, the SPX with 42.66 with like a minute and a half to go. So here we go again. We bought the 65, 60, 55 put fly for 65 cents. Now, this is where, you know, trading will make you pull your hair out. As you see, I've done that a lot, is the ES went from here, right there in the upper left, from 43.01 to 43.93, 6 points in about 30 seconds. The problem is most of that was like 10 seconds after the close. So even though the SPX on the right, we ended up having a double, it wasn't down to here where it should have been. If it was 10 seconds earlier, we would have had, you know, a quadruple, but we still made money. But I wanted to show you why it worked today, and it didn't work yesterday. I thought you'd want to see this. Is yesterday there wasn't that much to buy or sell. So that's number one. Number two is that it was sort of in between strikes where you really didn't have a chance, but there was something else that went on. Like I said, it's an art, not a science. Yeah. Today, when it said 2.3 billion to sell, and you saw this have this little twerk down with about 2 minutes to go, Apple had a nice sell-off right here. Nice reversal candles. All those low reversal candles. Yesterday, when it was just over the strike price, Apple would not go lower. Check this out on the right. Right here. It would not go lower. There wasn't even a reversal candle, any kind of like little scare. So yesterday when we did it, we knew we were wrong in the SPX. The second that it started to sell off and Apple just wouldn't go down. In fact, I wanted to show you this, that look at all the red candles here with about 2 minutes to go, not the last tick. And look on how they started going down right in here.
Chris, my question for you on a strategy like this is you have to execute it so quickly, right? And so you're using 0-day expiry options. Is that what you're using for that?
Yeah, but like this one we did with 3 minutes to go.
Okay.
So the key is though is you don't want to do it earlier because you don't know what the middle strike will be. So when this one was around 42.67, we threw in to buy it for 65 cents. We always want to do it around 65 cents. We don't like to pay like $1. We just seen in experience, a lot of times they close at $1. And like this one, it closed at $1.25. So
but like,
the
how
thing
do you know where to
is,
put the
we'd
how do
like
you know
to
where to put the
establish
bids
before that.
Chris, how do you know where to put the bids? Because like, are you just looking? And I know we've discussed this before, but we always do have new viewers. Like when you're talking about 65 cents, do you just put it trying to make like, so it costs you 65 cents, so you're trying to make $1.30, trying to go 2 to 1. Do you sort of layer your outs or what? Because they're going to expire worthless, right? If it doesn't hit, they expire 0, so you lose everything. So you need to at least make 1 to 1, I would assume, and get that back, that 65 cents. How do you know where to do that?
I mean, usually we do twosies. So you do like 2 of them. You throw in the bid at 65 cents as long as it's relatively close to the strike price. But I like to do 2s. Yesterday's a perfect example. I only did 1. And we bought it at 65 cents within 1 minute. It was $1.20. I didn't take the profit. It went to 0. But if you had bought 2, sold 1 at $1.20, at least the other one you almost have for free.
Right.
So you definitely want money management in these, because then you can spin the wheel and let one of them just ride just in case it goes down 5 points. So, but definitely you'd like to do 2 of them. And because it's so risky, it usually is with house money. So if you're up like $200 today, you can take a quarter of that and buy like 1 at 65 cents. So that way you're just sort of parlaying what you have.
Right, you're just trying to make that work. And again, I think the key thing that all the traders need to understand when you're talking about this is it's that mock number that you said, and that it has to be greater than, you know, you're looking at multiple billions of dollars. We give that number every day live on the show as well, and I know there's some news feeds that do that. So I'm going to take a look at that. 2.3 billion was today, and obviously that trade worked. Okay, we always run short on time, you and I, because we start talking about all this, which is fine, and that's great. But I have a question to ask you first of all. It's Canadian Thanksgiving this weekend. I think we're going to get a poll up soon. I know it's on Streamlabs right now. Ramin's doing everything here. But cranberry sauce, first of all, yay or nay on cranberry sauce?
Canned. I like canned.
Canned. Okay, perfect. So that's it. So you and my wife, well, hold on a second. You guys have lots in common. There it is right now, fresh or canned. So come over to my screen right now. For me, I prefer fresh, so I'm going to click that right now. Thank you, Ramin. Oh, it looks like the can. Oh, we're going back and forth right now. It's 51-49. It's 100. We'll do that right now, but it's back and forth right now. Fresh versus canned. Get your signups right there. Happy Canadian Thanksgiving to you. You guys are obviously a lot later on in November, but let's go over. Did you have a quick example? You emailed me today about possibly getting short, and I'll have to go back and find that email. If I'm saying it the wrong way, I apologize, but a stock is going down. There's a downtrend, and we want to get short. Is that what you want to show us right now?
Yeah, that'd be great. I'll show you as fast as I can.
Let's go.
Sure. This is the bonds. We know the bonds have gotten trashed. I mean, we've known they get trashed. But usually in a sell-off, you get that sharp sell-off, you get down here, and then you get the first rally, and it creates that oversold MACD. So, in fact, I could take all these off except that MACD on the bottom, so it doesn't get too distracting.
Okay.
There. So you have this. It got oversold on the bottom right here. So a lot of people try to buy in here. You saw today with next year that people wanted to buy today after it was already overbought. Not a good idea. You got to see it try to test the lows. But let's say you want to play that last short. So you want to play that last short in here where it gets this overbought after a big old sell-off.
Okay.
And what you do in there is you don't use the daily. You go to an ultra short-term chart to time your entry. because you already know it's overbought. So I thought I'd show you this real quick. Here's last November. So here's that last November with the bonds. And we're going to take the bonds over here on a 1 hour. So the first thing is, if you want to buy the bonds, yeah, you want to look for that bull flag after it's turned. But I was talking about this. So you had that overbought. So you can't just blindly go and short it. You wait for that reversal pattern. And to me, the reversal pattern, not the 1 hour, but the 15 was even more exciting. So when you go into there, all the way back here,
look at that.
You're going to, well, let's see if I do the 30-minute. We'll do the hourly. And you can see, I think, a mile away, that topping formation. So you're going on the overbought and you're going on the temporary oversold bounce. And then you're looking for the initiation on the downside of the next leg down. So it worked today in NVIDIA about that stock being overbought temporarily.
Right.
So you're not going to short up here. I'm just not that good. I'm going to short on that break. So the more points of contact, the more important to me. And when that broke, I mean, you're talking about 2 points in the bonds. That's a ton, especially that fast.
I never thought bonds would be so exciting there, Chris, but there it is right there on that break, back down to the downside. Look, that's part of the trick, right? We all have our little tricks of the trade, and that's a good one right there, trying to find those tops and bottoms. Very tough to pick that very top, so look for momentum to break lower. Okay, make sure you get into the chat there, Chris, because I need you to vote. Right now, Canned is winning, so that would be good for you as well. Look, best of luck with that flood, man. I had some plumbing issues last week. Thank God it was just a little leak in the toilet on one of my upstairs toilets, and it came into my main floor, which wasn't as good as well. But yeah, best of luck with that, and I know the plumbers can be expensive, so keep hitting those last-second trades, man, and thank you so much. You can find Chris there on X, at Simpler Trading as well. Google Chris Brecher and you'll find everything you need to know. Thank you so much, my friend. Best of luck, and I'll see you next week.
That sounds great. Have a good one.
Ciao, that's Chris Brecher, one of my favorites. It's Trader Talk. All righty then. Wow, we are getting low on time, but that worked out almost perfect. So really happy with that. A quick little update. Guys, come on, man. We got to vote into here. Wow, I didn't think it would be this close. To be honest with you, canned versus fresh. Do you guys like that? Maybe every single day will come up. I'll think of it throughout the afternoon. You guys can DM me or tweet at me, and we'll think of some pretty fun polls. Why don't we do that every single day? The one thing everybody can do, though, if you're watching it, this worked out well last time, 1,500 people, 200 likes. If you're watching the show and you like it, man, traders stay late. If you're a trader, hit the like button. I mean, that's real-time trading right there from Chris. Like, you're not going to get that anywhere else. I mean, CNBC right now is talking to somebody that looks half dead. I don't know. But on the screen over there. So shout out. I don't know who that is. I can't see. My eyes are bad. Anyways. But no, he looks alive, actually, after all. Right there. So... Oh, that's the guy from the Pixel event? Okay. But anyways, yeah, so not talking trading is the bottom line right there. But let's talk about some real trades because, hey, it's me. All right, I'm the anti-hero. You know that song, Ramin? All right, INTC as all the Swifties go. Hey, if you're a Swiftie, hit the like button. If you're not, hit the like button. How about that? Okay, so right now today, Intel, the reason why I want to bring this up is because it was a name on the sticky note. They did have news today about a new operating business, and I thought that was going to be a catalyst for the long. I always say that when you're building the sticky note, you have to have catalysts, right? And I thought that was a good one. So I just want to talk about where we screwed this up today live for everybody right here, right now. So it came in. Now, I wrote down on my sticky note, and just, it doesn't matter where you write it down, but I wanted to defend this 36 level, and I just thought even dollar. It doesn't even go back to yesterday. You could say yesterday into the close, man, we got as low as 35.40, so it's not even like there was anything down here to give me a reason why 36 was good. I just thought an even dollar level, that's where I wanted to get long. We were starting the day up here at 36.80 on good news. So my first take is 36.20. I like that. I'll take that pretty much every time. 20 cents ahead of a level, we'll do that, right? But then it came into 30, like this was real quick, man. This is in the first minute. The carnival's open, and there it is, man, 36 bucks. We got out of it at 35.80. I'm actually fine with that. okay? Because we put on some shares there. So let's just say for argument's sake, I want to have 500 shares. This would be 100 shares. Then you put on the rest of the 500 here. Some it looks like at 05, some at O's. So there it is. We're like, okay, is it going to defend? All right, because for argument's sake, we have 500 shares. It doesn't really matter your share size, but I was gonna get out about 20 cents lower than that. That's my comfort level on an Intel trade. If it's Google, maybe you can hold it for a little bit more, but then we wouldn't have had that many shares. So you gotta sort of analyze your risk tolerance on a trade, okay? But this is where I really went wrong. And that is that when we got out right there, why am I buying it back? Like honestly, actually, first of all, the outs, yeah, 85 is about it, looks like. Why am I buying this back at 75? You know? So that way, like when it came all the way back down, we start to get hit. And then like my out, buying it at 75 is now at 50. So like now I've added another 25 cents of pain to this trade when we didn't need to do that. So it's like if I leave Intel alone right here, then it's probably fine. I take a 25 cent hit, we figure it out from there. But we kept on buying it, and that was the mistake. So we get stopped out, then we look back over and we're like, okay, we have that bottom from yesterday at 40, right? So now I was like, I'm gonna take the long now at 50, and actually the long we get is 47. I'm gonna take this long at 47 and even buy more on a 50 break back up to the upside, because now I'm confident in saying, hey, I'm now back into a level where we're already over the time? Okay, and this is the problem. You can join me every day and we'll talk about that. Yeah. But anyways, the idea is that buying it back here, we made a lot of money back into this because it went right back into 36. We're able to take that. We messed around with the short there, and you guys could see at the end of the day, we had a good short before it broke 36 finally to the end of the day on a nice move back up. But I really feel like what I should have done was not be upset at myself for losing initially. We had an in and we had our out. The problem was the extracurricular activity after that. We should have let it settle down, not had any of these ticks. One more screen grab here, Amin. We should not have any of these ticks down there. We should have got out, not had that, and waited for the long, and we would have made all of our money back. And if we didn't make it all back, it doesn't matter. We would have at least not had that bad trade there. And then quickly, Palantir. This one makes a lot of sense to me. So the reason why I wanted to show both of these is because it goes from like an uncontrollable trade early to one that was very, very controlled. We missed this huge move up in Palantir early. That's fine. It was on the watch list. We had it. We were going to look at Palantir. Came all the way back in. Let the name settle down. Once we feel like it did settle down, we had VWAP and the 200 period. We bought off that. That gave us some nice moves back up to the upside. The VWAP's changed since then, but there it is there at 50. There it is there at 50 again. Bought the 50s. We had protection of VWAP. Give us like 5 cents worth of protection. Nice upside plays on all of that. So quickly, man, this would not be a show for traders, by traders, if we did not do a roll call. So right now, get your opportunity for a roll call. Here it is. Still 1,500 people, 300 likes. Get those likes up ASAP, please and thank you. It looks like Fresh will win, so fail for anybody that wanted Canned, but banger for Fresh because I'm on that Fresh. Ramin's on that Fresh. Wife is on Canned, and I think, did Chris say Canned, I think he said? Also, so I don't know if you're in there, Chris, or not, but yo, who's here? Hugh is here right now. Deez is here right now. Yo, what's up, Deez? What's up, Trader Forever? He's here. For Profit is here. DH Holtz. Thank you so much for coming. Chris is here as well. Jack, the whole team is here. D. Westermeyer's here. Derek Thompson is here. So thank you so much. Everybody is back in right now. And again, this was sparked did you show the screen there when I was doing roll call? I think you probably did. Yeah, okay, she did. Shout out to Daryl Flitch and everybody's here as well. Yeah, you are, I guess I kind of have two families, you guys and my one at home. So again, this was sparked by her. I think the poll would be a good idea every day. So we'll get that locked and loaded. I'll get the idea over to these guys earlier. Thank you so much to Ramin. Thank you so much to Fabian, stayed late, and thank you so much to Chris Brecher for everything that he contributed to, and thank you Bears vs. Bulls again. We do have super chats to talk about real quickly today. D Queen, thank you for that. She had a real funny joke earlier, and I forgot to get to it. It was about tuning up your car. I forget what it was. Oh, it was why do cars go to Disneyland or something? It was to get car-tuned, something like that. I thought that was pretty funny. Shout out to D Queen. I'll shout her out, him or her out, tomorrow morning. The Hayes Records, Ian Rispetto, Arthur, and Austin. Thank you so much for now rocking with the best of us. Yeah. It is the recap show, Traders Stay Late, and you did with me. So I thank you so much. I'm Sean Contini. You can find me at Trader TV Sean, both on X and on Instagram. Go follow me, send me some DMs, and we'll talk about some funny things as we go. Thanks, Bears vs. Bulls. All right, Marissa, I'm coming home. So we'll be there very, very shortly. Thank you so much for watching, and catch me tomorrow live at 8:30 on the main show. It's Trader TV Live. This is your recap show. See you tomorrow. Thank you, and ciao.